Well, good morning. Well, actually, it's good afternoon. It is Thursday, January 20th, and David is working in Flint, so he's not able to pick up Alyssa from school. So Cindy called me and asked me if I could go pick Alyssa up, and I told her, of course, I would. But we have a couple birthdays today. Today is Determined Jessica's birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jessica. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. And it's also Jacqueline's birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jacqueline. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. Well, I hope you both have a great birthday. We are on our way, like I said, to go get Alyssa. Christy and Sophia are going to stop by tonight because Christy's girlfriend cuts hair at her house, and she doesn't live that far from me. And so they're going to stop by for a quick visit this afternoon. Well, when Christy gets off of work and Sophia gets home from school. So I'm looking forward to that. So I'll get to see two of my granddaughters today. Like I said, I won't see David, I won't see Sebastian and Oliver. I'll probably see Sebastian, I don't know, maybe I might see Sebastian and Oliver today. Danny switches off. Sometimes he comes on Thursday, sometimes he comes on Friday, but I haven't heard anything yet. So maybe I'll get to see them. If they come over, I'll show you them, but I don't know for sure that they are. But I went grocery shopping, and by now you probably saw my haul. I saved almost $60 in coupons. I was like, I've been on a coupon hunt lately. Lately, the coupons though really haven't been the greatest, but I managed to find some good deals. So my bill came to, I had to pay $177, and I had $175 left in gift cards. So I used my gift cards, and so I only had to pay like $2 and something out of my own pocket. Such a deal. Would have been nice if that would be all the time, just paying $2 or $3, but it's not going to happen. So I did that, and then while I was shopping, there was a handicapped gentleman, and he didn't even have a cart. He had his own motorized wheelchair, and he was deaf. And I saw him trying to get something, and he was struggling, and so I asked him, and then he pointed to his ears and then his mouth. So I said, "Oh, you can't speak or hear?" And he shook his head yes, but obviously he could read lips. So then I asked him what he wanted, and he pointed it and I got it. And then he followed me through the store. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but then he'd go. He could make noises, so like if I got a little bit too far ahead of him, he'd go. So then I would stop and turn around, and then he would point to something that he wanted me to pick down for him. So we grocery shopped together through the whole store. But and so then when he was to the end, I said, "Did you want me to come out and help you?" And he said no. And so I said okay, because I didn't want to, infringe on his independence. But the things I was reaching for were like high up or way back in the counter. So being tall had its advantages. And you know me, I like to help people when I can. I'd like to think that people are going to help me. I had to get something the other day, and it was way in the back of the freezer, or the refrigerator part. There would have been a day I could have climbed up there and got it, but I don't want to fall. So I found somebody. They looked at me and said, "Oh, that poor old woman needs help." I don't care. I needed help, and I asked for it. I don't have a problem asking for help if I need help. Although I like to try to do as much as I can on my own. I don't like to be dependent on people. But as I get older, I realize that some things you just got to be a little bit more, relaxed about, and swallow your pride a little bit and ask for help. So I did. I didn't have a problem with it. So I got my groceries, and then I thought, well, I might as well get some gas, because I'm like, it's about half a tank. I don't like it to get too much. And plus the gas was pretty cheap for Michigan, at least. It was $2.12, which is a good deal around here. I don't know how much it is where you're at, but $2.12 is pretty good for us. So I got some gas. Then I went to the post office. I didn't have any mail. Then I came home, and I made some cream of wheat bread. On my vlog, you're going to see that I couldn't figure out how to get to the correct part of the Weight Watchers app to find it. So I was just basing it on my last time I had it, which was 4 points. But I finally figured out you have to go on the little scrolly thing on the top on the left. Not the gear shift. I think it's like the equal signs. And so then I went into that, and then I found my food, and now my cream of wheat bread is 7 points. I'm still fine with that because I only had a 4-point breakfast, so it really is just 7. And my breakfast is usually average between 7 and 10 points anyhow. And it was delicious. And I did remember to find the video, and I do have it in my email ready to share on my link. So hopefully I remember when I'm editing this video tonight to include it. But I did film the recipe. It's very easy, quick, easy recipe, and it's delicious. It's like a little. I didn't put any nuts in it, but one time I did put a couple nuts in it. You know, boosted the points up a little bit, but it was like a banana nut bread. It was really good. And then what else? Watched The Amazing Race yesterday. It's kind of bummed who went home. I'm not going to spoil it in case you haven't seen it, but I was right about who came back. It was the tall and short police officers and the father and daughter team. And they said the reason that the Anthony and I forget his name, Anthony and whatever. Well, the reason the 2 soldiers didn't come back was that Anthony got a new job in the finance department that he's been trying to get in the finance field rather, which he'd been trying to get for a very long time. And he had just started at that position. And they wouldn't give him time off to go on the race. And so he didn't come back. And then Sam and Carol, I think her name were, she was pregnant, so she couldn't come back. And then the Love Island couple, I knew they weren't coming back. Carol and Ray, I knew they weren't coming back because they just didn't get along. But then the 2 guys, the gay couple that are married, that has the Instagram dance from their wedding. They didn't come back, but they said they weren't going to give their reasons until after the show aired, and then they might tell us why they weren't going to come on anymore. So, but I don't know. I know they had to do it different because of the pandemic, but I think the whole point of the race before was that you had to make sure that you got to a plane in time, otherwise you missed the flight, and then you had to wait for another flight. And then you had to be trusting of the people that you were looking for to get the transportation, like whether it was a taxi or whatever. To get rid of that, I'm going to have to, oh no. Back it up, Sandy. We found a spot. It's a tight fit, but I can fit. But anyway, let's see. Maybe I'll just go like this and block it so that nobody can. I don't know if she'll see me here. Anyway, I could pull all the way through, but once they get their kids picked up, because this person on the left parked over the line. If you're going to park the right way. That's my thought. But I'm really early. I'm like 7 minutes early. I should back up. Just in case somebody does try to pull into that spot. I wish I could learn how to back up and feel secure about doing it, because I never was really good at, like, even like when I don't have it in my car, but those things where you can back up and the lines line up, I can't even do it with that, because Jim has that in his truck. I can't do that. It's just, I try. And when I took my driver's training class, I couldn't master the parallel parking, but the teacher passed me. And then when I went for my road test, which I didn't want to go, I never wanted to drive. I liked taking driver's training at school because they had like a little parking lot set up just for driver's training. It had like its own little trailer where you went for your classes. And then they had like a little stop signs and traffic lights, and you drove obviously a real car, and it didn't have a radio on it, but it was so cool, and I liked it, and I did that. And then I passed the class even though I couldn't do the driver's training or the parallel parking. And then I never told my mother when we went to get the permit, because you got the permit at the end of the class. But my mother knew. Mothers always know that when the 90 days was up, and then on the 90th day, my Aunt Rose came and picked me up, and I go, where are we going? She says, well, your mother said you wanted to go get your driver's license. And I said, well, my mother's wrong. I don't want to get my driver's license. And then my mother said, you want to get your driver's license, you're going to get your driver's license. So I went with my Aunt Rose in her Ford Fairlane, and I got the instructor, and we went in the driving, and I did really well. I didn't mess up at all. I came to complete stops. I did correct left turns and right turns. And I was thinking, I did the angle parking. I thought, this is going to be a beaut. I'm going to pass this with flying colors and not have to worry about coming back. And then he said, we're going to do some parallel parking. And I said, well, we're not going to do it between real cars, are we? And he goes, well, yeah. And I went, well, no. And he says, well, yeah. So we pulled up along some cars, and I started to do my little backing up. And I wasn't doing it right, and I pulled out and tried it again, and then I tried it like 3 or 4 times, and I was so afraid I was going to hit a car. And so finally he says, why don't we just pretend like you passed that, and then you make a solemn promise never to parallel park. And I raised my right hand, and I said, I solemnly promise I will never try to parallel park. And I have lived up to that promise now for 56 years. 55 years, because I was 16. 55 years I've lived up to that promise, not to parallel park. So I somehow along the line I thought that included backing into spots too, because I don't back into spots. When I went to the Ford dealer the other day to get my oil changed, found out you had to make an appointment, and they didn't have anything available right away. So there was like 3 or 4 cars parked in front of me, and I go, well, how am I going to get out of here? He says, well, do you feel comfortable enough backing out? And I'm thinking, well, yeah, because I just pulled into the garage. It was right there. I thought, how hard can it be? And so I started backing up, and he went, whoa, whoa, whoa. He said, why don't we just wait? So I said, okay. I said, well, why don't you back it up for me? And he says, no, I'm not allowed to back. I'm not allowed to get in the cars, because they had special people that came with like gloves and masks and stuff that, moved your car to where it was supposed to go. So I said, okay. So I only had to wait like 3 or 4 minutes, but even he knew that I couldn't back up. So, but like I said, I haven't got any plans. Still got 3 more minutes before Alyssa gets out. Well, 3 more minutes before the bell rings. Probably 8 more minutes before Alyssa comes out. And then drop her off, go home. I think I got a couple YouTube videos to watch. That's it. Then for dinner, I'm kind of bummed I bought the wrong meat. I wanted to have I am still going to have a hamburger for dinner. But I thought I bought the 90-10 meat, and I ended up buying the 85-15. So it's going to be a little higher in points than I wanted. But, so I'm going to have a hamburger, or probably a cheeseburger. I'm going to put a slice of Velveeta cheese on it for 1 point. And then my hamburger, and then the bun is 5 points. So it's 6 points even before I put the meat on it. But I only put mustard and relish, which are 0 points, and onions on my burger. And then I'm going to have a side salad with some dressing. So that'll be 3. So I'm going to be pretty close to my 23 points today. But I feel pretty good. I think I'm doing pretty well. Weekend's approaching. I have a plan of attack for the weekend. I watched Roy over at Recipes with Roy made a turkey sausage stir fry with broccoli and asparagus, 2 green foods that Jim will not eat, some purple cabbage, which he will eat, which I forgot to buy. But I'm going to do it a little bit different. He did his over noodles, which I'm going to do mine over noodles too. But I do have the sauce to put on it, but I'm going to, instead of broccoli and asparagus, I'm going to put green and red. Well, he put red peppers in it too, though. But I'm going to put green and red peppers with some mushrooms and some corn. And I'm going to open up a can of that tomatoes, the Rotella, diced tomatoes, and the turkey sausage, and then some garlic, and then poured it over the thing. So Jim and I are going to have it Saturday. I'm sure he's going to like it. I would like it better with the broccoli and the asparagus in it, but Jim has an aversion to green foods. So the only green foods you got to worry about is like cheese or moldy food. And I'm not, you know what, if my cheese turns green, I throw it away. I know you can just peel the green off because some cheeses are just rotten cheese anyhow. I think, is that Limburger cheese is the rotten cheese? I don't know. But I see a little bit of green on anything, it's in the trash. It really, that's the only foods that I can really throw away, is foods that have turned green. But anyway, the bell has gone off, so now I'm going to be looking for Alyssa. Hopefully this one car moves before she comes out, because then she'll be able to see me a little bit better, because I have a lot of big trucks all around me. But okay, I babbled on long enough. Here, let's see what I had for breakfast, even though I already told you. It was good. Oh, that was the thing that kind of bummed me out, was they didn't have any fresh raspberries, so I bought some frozen raspberries, which are 1 point for a serving, which I can handle 1 point for. Oh, you know what? I think I forgot to include that in my breakfast too. So my breakfast was really 8 points, not 4 points. It was 8 points. But I didn't like it. It was more like a jelly. It just, I'll put it on toast, but I won't get it again. Plus, it was way more than if I would have got fresh berries, but they didn't have any. Now I'm done babbling. Okay, for breakfast, we're going to have some berries, some cream of wheat bread, a cup of tea, my water. Today is Thursday, January 20th. I get 23 dailies. My quote is, trust the wait. It will be so worth waiting for. 0 for my berries and my tea. The last time I had the cream of wheat bread was 4 points. I can't find it on my app anymore, so I'm going to have to do a little bit of research. But I did get this recipe from Dish with D, and this is all the information that you need to make the breakfast. If I remember, I'll put a link to the video that she shows how you do it. But that's all of the information for Dish with D. Okay, for dinner I'm going to have a burger with a salad with my iced tea and my Olive Garden dressing. It's a 16-point dinner, 0 for my salad and my tea, 5 points for my bun, 2 points for my cheese, and 9 points for my burger. So it's 16 points. I ended up 23 points on the nose. Okay, another great day on plan. I was talking with Joan over at Joan's Point of Plate tonight, and we did my cream of wheat bread. And on her plan, it comes up at 4 points. And on mine, it still comes up at 7, but if you add up all the ingredients, it comes up at 5. So I'm really thoroughly confused. She suggested I take it out of the app and redo it, which is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to just figure it's 5 points because I only got 5 points worth of stuff. So that's what I'm going to go with. I didn't film the kids. I don't know why. I just got so busy talking to them. But Danny came over with Sebastian and Oliver, and then Christy came by with Sophia. So it was just... we were just having fun. I forgot all about getting the camera out. Sometimes you just want to spend the time and not worry about filming it. And that was what I was doing tonight. But we had a great time. So the only one I didn't get to see today was David. But I saw him yesterday. So I guess that makes up for it. So if you're new to my channel, please subscribe, leave a comment, hit the like button, and share if you think somebody might like to see it. As always, stay safe, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow.